All right, this is me and Sohail's presentation on the Intro to Networking challenges from last week, I guess.
I'm Sohail. I'm a first year. I'm from Webster, so I'm like right around here. I have a bird. I really like my bird. He's pretty cute. Yeah, that's me.
Ooh, we love Sohail. This is me. I'm Chase from Long Island, first year. I use Windows 11, sadly. It's my dog. She chilling. Yeah, and that's me. All right.
So for easy one, for last week's challenges, we had two files that were PCA PNGs, which are Wireshark files. So we used Wireshark to open them up. And for the first one, for easy, you pretty much were hinted that that it's a Windows and it has a Mac, and with Mac we can think of like MAC address. And then the best way to look for MAC address, I just did a quick Google search. It's set to go to statistics and then conversations. And then from there, I have it highlighted, but I pretty much was going to just go down the list of the MAC addresses and just typing them in. And the first one happened to be the right one. So that's how that works.
You good?
Awesome.
Because you have
Right,
the
right,
first
yeah. All right, then for easy two, we were told that we couldn't get to the website. So my friend thought it was an ICMP error, so we went over there. We just filtered for ICMP. We just started looking through, and then because it said that it couldn't go to the different host name, we then thought it was a DNS. So then under ICMP, there was a place where you could look for DNS, and then under that, we saw alexbeaver.com.br, and we thought that was kind of suspicious. We look for answers, and then we see CNAME RS, I don't see name. And then because it had the RS symbol, we figured that could be the flag, so we tried it, and it ended up working. And then for medium one, we were told that we were to create 20 subnets, and then the answer would be the last subnet that's usable. And because for this specific network, the way you would create them is you would take the last octet, so the last or the last digit in the IP would be 8 binaries, and then you would split them up so that you could get 20 subnets, and then the last one would be the final last usable host IP address. And so the way you would do it is you would split it up from the beginning. You would try to split it up so that you could get them like at least 20. In this case, we had to go to 16, even because you couldn't get 20 with the 8, 4, 2, and 1. So then you had to get that extra bit. And then from there, you actually have to go to 19 because the first one it's indexed at, so index 1 is 000, so that counts as a subnet, and therefore you have to go to 19 in order to get to the 20 subnets. And then the last digits are just 110, getting to the last host possible. And then that translates back to 192.168.1.158.
Subnet math, oh so difficult. Definitely use a calculator and not by hand like we did. All right, so for medium two, we're looking for the IP address of the server, the lease, which is like the time it takes to send stuff, and the IP address of the router. So inside it said look for the like DHCP, the Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. A lot of this was just looking up like how to do stuff, because for the most part I had not used Wireshark before this. So you kind of just find out. And filtering through DHCP brings us to these different request, offers, ACK, release, discover. And when you look inside, you have the sub options to find the server IP address, the lease in seconds, and the router IP address, all in separate segments. And then in the weird formatting of this flag, that really took a lot of times. I got it backwards a couple of times. Lease was kind of weird, but just put it in, you're good. And for hard, this one was very confusing. So you're just given cats love math and then this IP in a port, which if you're like me and Sohail, you have no idea. So using the biggest brains in the building ourselves, we figured this out. So the proper way to do this was to access the IP address and port through like Firefox. It brings up this web page at the bottom, and it gives you a prompt to answer like a bunch of different math equations and such. And it says that there is 1,000 problems, which is a lie because it's only about 8. And since we did it manually, you can just answer it out like simple mean, median, size questions. But the proper way to do it was to make a Python script. So thanks to Alton, everyone say hi to Alton. Thank you. Hi. He actually made a script using the Python sockets stuff, which received the information from the IP and then interprets it and then parses the strings into the questions and then calculates them, sends it back, receives it. Even though he isn't proud of his script, it definitely works, but that's the proper way to do it. And gives you the RS socket wrench for the answer. And that was the last one. So does anyone have any questions at all? Yes. Mr. Anderson?
When you connected to the server, were the math equations or the values in the math equations randomized, or was it just the same thing?
They were, yeah. So every time you reloaded the page, it came with a different math equation. So your script had to be dynamic enough to take in each input. Pretty sick. Mister?
So did you find that, like, what was most helpful? Was it, like, stuff you learned in class? Was it people coming around helping? Or was it just off the go?
Probably people coming around helping. Work with Mr. Robert for medium 2, and yeah, kind of just everyone else who actually knew what they were doing, helping us. Again.
Okay. Do you think what you learned during the CTF could be used offensively?
The math part, debatable. The scripting, probably, yeah. If I knew Python scripting, I probably would have done it that way. First, we tried to do, a bash script at first?
Yeah.
But I don't know bash. I don't even, what does it stand for? But, yeah. But yeah, doing this at the meeting actually taught me when we did Wireshark in class in CSEC 140. So I had a head start.
My bird's name is Coco. I wanted to name him Pikachu, but then my brother won the bird name contest, I guess. So, yeah, it was unfortunate. It was very unfortunate. I do. I don't know. That's a good question.
Gonna have to ask him yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go. More thing.
Do you come around here? Do you present a lot?
This is actually our first presentation. So, little known fact. Oh. Fucking, oh my gosh. Oh, can you put it around my neck like a?
Yeah, no. That's backwards. Get over it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Woo. Presentation.